Do you know what the most heartbreaking thing I witness every single day is? Incredibly attractive people walking through life completely unaware of their own magnetic power. And I'm not talking about those who obviously know they're attractive and flaunt it. I'm talking about you. Yes, you sitting there right now, probably thinking you're just ordinary, maybe even questioning whether anyone truly finds you appealing at all. But here's what blows my mind about this whole situation. You've been conditioned by society, by media, by years of comparison to believe that attractiveness is about fitting into some narrow, completely unrealistic standard. Perfect skin, perfect body, perfect everything. But that's not how real attraction works in the real world. That's not how the human heart actually operates when it comes to genuine connection and magnetism. True attraction, the kind that creates lasting bonds and deep connections, is about energy, presence, authenticity, and that indefinable something that makes people gravitate toward you without them even understanding why it's happening. It's about the way you make others feel, the energy you bring to a room, the subtle confidence that radiates from within you. Today, I'm going to reveal to you 12 powerful signs that you are far more attractive than you could ever imagine. These aren't the obvious signs that everyone talks about in those shallow dating articles. These are the subtle, deeply psychological indicators that reveal your true magnetic power. Some of these signs are so counterintuitive that you might have been interpreting them completely wrong your entire life, missing clear evidence of your own appeal. And here's what's going to happen by the end of this content. You're going to see yourself through completely different eyes. You're going to understand why certain things happen to you, why people react to you the way they do, and most importantly, you're going to recognize the incredible attractive power you already possess but have been blind to. The 12th sign is something that 95% of genuinely attractive people completely miss about themselves. But once you recognize it, everything changes. Your entire self-perception shifts. So stay with me, because this is going to transform how you see yourself forever. This is one of the most overlooked signs of attraction, and it happens to attractive people constantly without them even realizing what's going on. Have you ever had someone bring up something you mentioned weeks or even months ago, something you considered completely insignificant at the time? Maybe you mentioned your favorite coffee shop in passing during a casual conversation, or talked about a book you were reading, or shared a random childhood memory that you thought nobody was really paying attention to. And then, out of nowhere, someone references it back to you. Oh, didn't you say you loved that little cafe on 5th Street with the amazing pastries? Or, how's that book you were reading about ancient civilizations? Did you finish it? Or, you mentioned that story about your childhood dog. That was so sweet. You're probably thinking, wow, they have an incredible memory. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When someone is genuinely attracted to you, everything about you becomes significant to them. Your words carry more weight in their mind. Your stories stick in their memory like glue. Your casual comments become memorable moments that they replay in their thoughts. This happens because attraction makes people pay attention on a completely different level than normal social interaction. This isn't about someone having a good memory in general. Most people don't remember random details about everyone they meet. Our brains are incredibly selective about what information we store in long-term memory, and we typically only retain information that feels important or meaningful to us. But when someone finds you attractive, your words bypass their mental filters entirely. They remember because remembering you feels important to them. They remember because you've created an emotional imprint that goes far beyond surface level conversation. They remember because something about you has captured their attention in a way that makes them want to know more, understand more, connect more deeply with who you are. So the next time someone surprises you by remembering something small you said, something you thought was completely forgettable, don't dismiss it as coincidence or assume they just have a good memory. It's a clear sign that you've made a deeper impact than you realized. Your presence is memorable in ways you don't even recognize. Your words carry weight that you don't even understand. You are attractive in ways that go far beyond physical appearance. This is a huge one, and it's something that genuinely attractive people experience constantly without even realizing the profound impact they're having on others. Do people tend to open up to you quickly? Do strangers find themselves sharing personal stories with you that they wouldn't normally share? Do friends consistently come to you with their deepest concerns, their secrets, their fears, their dreams? If this sounds familiar, you're witnessing one of the most powerful signs of attraction in action. Here's what's happening on a psychological level. Attractive people possess an energy that makes others feel emotionally safe. Not just physically safe, but emotionally safe to be their authentic selves without fear of judgment or rejection. There's something about your presence, your way of listening, your energy that sends a clear message to others. I can be myself here. I can be real here. I can drop my guard and show who I really am. This isn't about being a pushover or being overly agreeable with everyone. It's about possessing a genuine authenticity that gives others permission to drop their masks and be vulnerable. When someone finds you attractive, they instinctively want to be known by you on a deeper level. They want to share their real selves with you because they sense that you'll accept them as they are. This creates an instant bond, a connection that goes far deeper than surface level small talk and social pleasantries. You become the person they think of when they need to talk, when they need understanding, when they need someone who truly gets it. This happens because attractive people often have a natural emotional intelligence that others can sense immediately. They listen without judgment, they respond with genuine empathy. They create space for others to exist fully without fear of criticism or rejection. And this quality is incredibly magnetic to other human beings who are starving for authentic connection. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel seen, heard, and accepted for who they really are. In a world full of superficial interactions and social media facades, someone who creates genuine emotional safety becomes incredibly valuable and attractive. But here's the important distinction. This isn't about being everyone's therapist or becoming an emotional dumping ground for others. Healthy boundaries are absolutely crucial. It's about recognizing that your ability to create emotional safety is a sign of your own attractive energy. People are naturally drawn to you because you possess this rare quality of authentic acceptance. Most people think compliments about attraction focus on obvious physical features, your eyes, your smile, your hair, your body. But when you're truly attractive on a deeper level, people compliment you on things that seem random or completely unexpected. They compliment your laugh, your voice, the way you explain complicated things, your unique sense of humor, your perspective on life, or even something as simple as your handwriting or the way you move through space. I love how your mind works, or you have such an interesting way of seeing the world, or there's something about your energy that just draws people in, or you have the most genuine laugh I've ever heard. These aren't typical compliments that people give casually. These are deep observations about your essence, your unique way of being in the world. And they're incredibly revealing about how others perceive you. When someone is genuinely attracted to you, they notice everything about you on a level that goes far beyond surface appearance. They notice the way you tilt your head when you're thinking deeply about something. They notice the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you're passionate about. They notice the way you make other people feel comfortable and included in conversations. They're seeing you and appreciating you on a level that most people never experience. These unexpected compliments are actually the most genuine form of attraction because they're about who you are as a person, not just what you look like. Anyone can comment on someone's physical appearance, but when someone notices and compliments your unique qualities, your personality traits, your way of being in the world, that's when you know you've made a real impact on them. The reason you might not recognize this as a sign of attraction is because these compliments often feel so personal, so specific to you, that you assume they're just being nice or trying to make you feel good. But think about it logically. How often do you give deeply personal, specific compliments to people you're not genuinely drawn to? How often do you notice and comment on someone's unique laugh or their way of thinking unless something about them has truly captured your attention? These unexpected compliments are a window into how others truly see you, and they reveal that you possess attractive qualities that go far deeper than anything you can see in the mirror. This is subtle but incredibly telling when you know what to look for. When you're genuinely attractive, people unconsciously adjust their behavior in your presence. They might speak a little softer, stand a little straighter, or become more animated and engaging in their storytelling. They might use different vocabulary, make more sustained eye contact, or seem more invested and engaged in conversations when you're around. This isn't about people being fake or putting on an act to impress you. This is about the natural human response to attraction. When we're around someone we find genuinely appealing, we instinctively want to present our best selves. We want to be worthy of their attention, their interest, their time and energy. We unconsciously elevate our behavior because their presence elevates something within us. You might notice that people seem funnier around you, or more thoughtful in their responses, or more generous with their time and attention. Maybe they offer to help you with things they wouldn't typically offer to help others with. Maybe they remember to ask you about things you mentioned in previous conversations. Maybe they seem more genuinely interested in your opinions and perspectives on various topics. This behavioral shift happens because attractive people inspire others to be better versions of themselves. Your presence acts as a catalyst for positive change in those around you. People want to match your energy, to be worthy of your attention, to connect with you on a meaningful level. They unconsciously raise their standards for themselves when you're around because something about you makes them want to be better. The key is recognizing this pattern in your own life. If you notice that people consistently seem to be more themselves around you, more funny, more thoughtful, more generous, more engaged, more authentic, it's because your attractive energy is bringing out their best qualities. You're inspiring them to shine brighter, and that's an incredibly powerful sign of your own magnetic appeal. This is also why people often feel energized and positive after spending time with you, even if they can't exactly explain why. You're not just interacting with them, you're elevating them, inspiring them, bringing out qualities in them that they might not even know they possess. This goes far beyond someone simply looking at you and moving on with their day. This is about the quality and intensity of attention you receive from others. When you're genuinely attractive, people don't just glance at you and immediately forget about you. They look, then look again. They find subtle reasons to glance in your direction multiple times throughout an interaction or social gathering. Their eyes linger just a little longer than would be considered normal or polite. Maybe you've noticed someone looking at you across a room, and when you catch their eye, they don't immediately look away in embarrassment. Instead, they hold your gaze for a moment, maybe even smile, as if they're genuinely pleased to have made eye contact with you. Maybe you've caught people watching you when they think you're not paying attention, observing the way you interact with others or move through space. Maybe you've noticed that when you're speaking in a group setting, people seem to focus on you more intently than they do on others. Their body language shifts toward you. They lean in slightly when you talk. They maintain eye contact throughout your entire contribution to the conversation, not just at the beginning and end. This sustained attention happens because attractive people are naturally captivating to others. There's something about your presence, your energy, your way of being that makes people want to keep looking, keep observing, keep taking you in. It's not necessarily a conscious decision on their part. They might not even realize they're doing it, but their subconscious mind is drawn to you and their attention naturally follows. The double take is particularly telling and happens more often than you might realize. This occurs when someone sees you, processes what they've seen, and then feels compelled to look again. It's their brain saying, wait, I need to see that again. I need to take in more of what I just witnessed. This isn't about shock or surprise, it's about attraction and genuine intrigue. You've captured their attention in a way that demands a second, more thorough look. Sometimes this sustained attention can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to recognizing it as a sign of attraction. You might wonder if there's something wrong with your appearance, or if you have something on your face, or if you're dressed inappropriately. But more often than not, these lingering looks are simply people responding to your magnetic energy in the most natural way possible. In our increasingly digital world, this is becoming an incredibly important indicator of genuine attractiveness. When you're truly attractive, technology seems to work in your favor in ways that might surprise you. Your photos turn out better than you expect them to. You look good in pictures that others might consider unflattering. You have a natural photogenic quality that translates well to cameras and screens, even in candid, unposed moments. But it goes far beyond just looking good in photos. Maybe you've noticed that you sound particularly good on phone calls or video chats. Maybe your voice is pleasant and engaging to listen to, or you have a natural ease with digital communication that others seem to lack. Maybe you're one of those people who actually looks good on video calls and virtual meetings, while others struggle with unflattering angles and harsh lighting. This technological appeal happens because genuinely attractive people often have a natural ease and comfort with themselves that translates well across various mediums and platforms. They're comfortable in their own skin, and that authentic comfort shows up whether they're interacting in person, in photos, or on screen. There's an authenticity and natural confidence that comes through regardless of the medium or technology being used. Social media might also amplify this effect in interesting ways. Your posts might get more engagement than you expect them to, even when you feel like you're sharing something completely ordinary. People might comment on your photos saying you look great, even when you feel like you look completely normal or even below average. You might receive messages from people you haven't talked to in years, sparked by something you posted that caught their attention. The key insight here is recognizing that this isn't about vanity or superficiality. It's about the fact that your attractive energy and natural magnetism translates across different platforms and mediums. You have a genuine, authentic presence that comes through whether someone is interacting with you face to face or through a screen or photograph. This technological amplification of your appeal is particularly significant because it means your attractiveness isn't dependent on perfect lighting, professional photography, or carefully curated images. Your natural appeal shines through even in casual, everyday digital interactions. One of the most telling signs of true deep attractiveness is the diversity of people who are naturally drawn to you. If you're only attractive to one specific type of person, that might be about fitting a particular preference or type. But if you find yourself attracting people from vastly different backgrounds, age groups, personality types, and walks of life, that's a powerful sign of universal appeal that goes beyond surface level characteristics. Maybe you've noticed that both introverts and extroverts seem to genuinely enjoy your company and seek out time with you. Maybe you connect easily with people much older or younger than you, finding common ground across generational differences. Maybe you attract both the quiet, thoughtful, introspective types and the outgoing, social, high-energy types. This diversity in attraction indicates that your appeal isn't based on fitting into a narrow category or type. It's based on something more fundamental and universally human. This phenomenon happens because genuinely attractive people possess qualities that transcend specific preferences or demographic categories. They have a warmth, authenticity, emotional intelligence, or energy that appeals to basic human needs for connection, understanding, acceptance, and genuine interaction. They're not just attractive to people who share their specific interests, background, or personality type. They're attractive to anyone who values authentic human connection. You might also notice that people from different cultures, backgrounds, or social circles seem to respond positively to you, even when you don't share obvious commonalities. This cross-cultural appeal is particularly significant because it suggests that your attractiveness isn't based on culturally specific standards or shared reference points, but on something more universal and fundamentally human. This diversity in attraction can sometimes be confusing or even overwhelming. You might wonder why such different types of people seem drawn to you, or question what you could possibly have in common with such a varied group of individuals. But it's actually one of the strongest indicators that you possess genuine, deep-seated, attractive qualities that transcend surface-level preferences and connect with something fundamental in human nature. The universality of your appeal suggests that you're offering something that most people are seeking: authenticity, genuine connection, emotional safety, positive energy, or simply the experience of being truly seen and accepted for who they are. This is a subtle but incredibly powerful sign that many attractive people don't recognize in themselves. When you're genuinely attractive, people naturally want your approval and validation. They want to know what you think about their ideas, their choices, their achievements, their appearance, their life decisions. They seek your opinion not because you're in a position of authority over them, but because your opinion matters to them on a deeply personal level. Maybe you've noticed that people ask for your advice more frequently than they ask others. Maybe they want to know what you think about their new haircut, their career decisions, their relationship choices, or their creative projects. Maybe they share their accomplishments with you because they genuinely want to see your reaction, your approval, your pride in their success. This happens because attractive people are often perceived as having good judgment, refined taste, valuable perspectives, or simply as being someone worth impressing. When someone finds you attractive, they naturally assume that you have qualities worth emulating or standards worth meeting. Your approval becomes more valuable to them because they value you as a person. This can show up in small, everyday ways that you might not even notice. Maybe people dress a little nicer when they know they'll see you. Maybe they put more effort into their appearance or behavior when you're around. Maybe they seem to care more about your reaction to things than they do about others' reactions. Maybe they want to impress you with their knowledge, skills, or achievements. The key insight is recognizing that this isn't about being judgmental, critical, or having impossibly high standards. In fact, it's often the opposite. Attractive people are frequently non-judgmental, accepting, and encouraging, which makes their approval feel more genuine and valuable when it's given. People seek validation from those they respect, admire, and value. If people are consistently seeking your approval, asking for your opinion, or wanting to impress you, it's a clear sign that you command respect and admiration in ways you might not even realize. You're seen as someone whose opinion matters, whose standards are worth meeting, whose approval is worth seeking. When you're in group settings, do you find that conversations tend to naturally flow toward you? Do people instinctively look to you for input, direction, or guidance? Do you find yourself inadvertently becoming a focal point in social situations, even when you're not actively trying to be the center of attention or dominate the conversation? This natural influence is a powerful sign of attraction that goes beyond traditional leadership or social dominance. Attractive people often possess a magnetic quality that draws group energy toward them in subtle but noticeable ways. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or the most outgoing. It's about having a presence that others naturally respond to and gravitate toward. You might notice that when you speak, people listen more attentively than they do to others. When you suggest something, others are more likely to enthusiastically go along with it. When you express an opinion, it carries more weight in group discussions and decisions. This isn't about being pushy, domineering, or manipulative. It's about having a natural authority that comes from your attractive energy and presence. This influence can manifest in various ways throughout social interactions. Maybe you're the person people instinctively look to when the group needs to make a decision about where to go or what to do. Maybe you're the one who can successfully suggest changing restaurants, switching activities, or trying something new. Maybe you're the person who can diplomatically resolve conflicts or smooth over awkward moments in group settings. The reason this happens is because attractive people often possess qualities that make them natural influencers and informal leaders. They're trusted, respected, and valued by others. Their presence adds something positive to group dynamics, and people naturally defer to them because they subconsciously recognize their attractive qualities and value their input. This natural influence is particularly significant because it's not forced or artificial. It emerges organically from who you are and the energy you bring to social situations. People don't follow your lead because they have to, but because they want to, because something about you inspires confidence and trust. This is about the lasting impact you have on people's experiences and memories. When you're genuinely attractive, you don't just participate in events and social gatherings, you actively enhance them for everyone involved. People remember experiences more fondly when you were part of them. You have a natural way of making ordinary moments feel special, meaningful, or memorable in ways that others don't. Maybe you've heard people say things like, "Remember that time when we went to that restaurant and you were telling us about your trip to Europe?" Or, "That party wouldn't have been nearly as fun without you." Or, "You always make everything more interesting and enjoyable." These aren't just polite compliments, they're genuine recognition of your ability to enhance experiences for others. This happens because attractive people often bring positive energy, enthusiasm, and engagement to situations. They're fully present, genuinely interested in others, and authentic in ways that make experiences richer and more meaningful for everyone involved. They're not just along for the ride, they're actively contributing something valuable to the collective experience. You might also notice that people frequently want to include you in their plans and activities. You're regularly invited to events, gatherings, and experiences because people instinctively know that having you there will make things better, more fun, more meaningful, or more enjoyable. Your presence is valued not just for who you are, but for what you bring to shared experiences. This quality of creating memorable moments is deeply attractive because it shows that you're someone who adds genuine value to other people's lives. You're not just taking up space or going through the motions, you're contributing something positive, meaningful, and memorable to the world around you and the people in your life. People are naturally drawn to those who make their lives better, more interesting, or more enjoyable. If you consistently enhance other people's experiences and create positive memories, you're demonstrating one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. This is one of the most beautiful and powerful signs of attraction, and it's something that genuinely attractive people experience regularly without even realizing the profound impact they're having on others. After spending time with you, people feel noticeably better about themselves and their lives. They feel more optimistic, more confident, more inspired, or simply happier and more energized than they did before your interaction. This isn't about being a people pleaser, constantly entertaining others, or sacrificing your own needs to make others happy. It's about having a natural energy and presence that uplifts and inspires others. When you're genuinely attractive, your presence has a positive impact on others' emotional states and overall well-being. You leave people feeling better than you found them. Maybe you've noticed that people seem visibly happier or more relaxed after talking with you. Maybe they've explicitly told you that spending time with you always makes them feel better about life. Maybe they actively seek you out when they're having a tough day because they know you'll help them feel more positive and hopeful about their situation. This energizing effect happens because attractive people often possess emotional intelligence, genuine empathy, and positive energy that naturally transfers to others. They're authentically interested in other people's well-being and happiness. They listen with real attention and care. They respond with genuine understanding and support. The beautiful thing about this sign is that it creates a positive cycle in your relationships. When people feel energized and uplifted after spending time with you, they naturally want to spend more time with you. They begin to associate you with positive feelings and experiences. They're naturally drawn to your energy because it makes them feel good about themselves and their lives. This quality is incredibly attractive because it's rare and valuable. In a world full of people who drain energy, complain constantly, or bring negativity to interactions, someone who consistently lifts others up becomes incredibly precious and sought after. This final sign might seem completely counterintuitive, but it's actually one of the most powerful and reliable indicators of genuine attraction. Truly attractive people often don't recognize their own appeal. They're typically more focused on connecting authentically with others, contributing positively to the world, and being genuine than they are on their own attractiveness or how others perceive them. This self-doubt about your own appeal is actually attractive in itself. It demonstrates humility, authenticity, and a focus on things more meaningful than surface-level appearance or social status. It prevents you from becoming arrogant, self-absorbed, or overly concerned with your image. It keeps you grounded and real in a world that's often full of pretense and superficiality. Genuinely attractive people are often their own harshest critics. They see their flaws more clearly than their strengths. They focus on areas where they want to grow and improve rather than resting on their appeal or taking their positive qualities for granted. This constant self-reflection and genuine desire for growth is inherently attractive to others who are tired of superficiality and ego-driven behavior. The irony is that this very quality, not recognizing or fully believing in your own attractiveness, is what makes you even more attractive to others. It keeps you humble, authentic, and focused on being a good person rather than just looking good or being admired. It makes you more relatable, more genuine, and more appealing to others who value substance over style. If you've been doubting your own attractiveness while reading through this list, if you've been thinking, but I'm not really that attractive, or people don't actually see me that way, or these signs don't really apply to me, then you're experiencing this final sign. Your humility and self-doubt are actually evidence of the very qualities that make you genuinely attractive to others. The most beautiful, magnetic, and attractive people are often the ones who question their own appeal, who focus on being good people rather than just looking good, and who are more concerned with how they make others feel than with how others perceive them. Now that you've learned about these 12 powerful signs, I want you to take a moment to honestly reflect on your own experiences and life patterns. How many of these signs do you recognize in your own daily interactions? How many of these patterns have you noticed but dismissed, explained away, or attributed to other factors? The truth that I need you to understand is this: you are far more attractive than you realize or give yourself credit for. Your appeal isn't just about physical appearance, perfect features, or fitting into society's narrow standards of beauty. It's about the energy you bring to the world, the way you make others feel, the positive impact you have on people's lives, and the authentic presence you offer in your interactions. You possess a unique combination of qualities that make you genuinely appealing to others, even if you don't see it or believe it yourself. Your attractiveness comes from your authenticity, your emotional intelligence, your ability to make others feel seen and valued, your positive energy, and your genuine care for other people's well-being. The people who are drawn to you, who seek your company, who remember details about you, who feel energized after spending time with you, they're not making mistakes or settling for less than they deserve. They're recognizing something genuine and valuable in you that you might not even see in yourself. They're responding to your authentic self, your unique energy, your way of being in the world. Your attractiveness isn't dependent on having perfect skin, a perfect body, perfect features, or fitting into magazines and social media standards. It's about being authentically yourself, caring genuinely about others, bringing positive energy to your interactions, and making people feel valued and understood. Starting today, I want you to pay attention to these signs in your own life. Notice when people remember specific details about conversations you've had. Notice when they seek your approval or validation. Notice when they feel energized and positive after spending time with you. Notice when technology amplifies your natural appeal, when you attract diverse types of people, when you naturally influence group dynamics. Most importantly, start believing what others already see in you. Stop dismissing compliments or explaining away positive attention. Stop assuming that people are just being nice or that they don't really mean what they're saying. Start recognizing that your doubt about your own attractiveness is actually evidence of the humility and authenticity that makes you so appealing to others. You are attractive, you are valued, you are worthy of the positive attention, genuine care, and deep appreciation that others show you. It's time to start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who truly see you, and to embrace the incredible attractive power you already possess but have been blind to. The world needs more people who recognize and embrace their own unique appeal. The world needs more people who understand that true attractiveness comes from authenticity, kindness, emotional intelligence, and genuine care for others. The world needs you to stop hiding your light and start shining as brightly as you're meant to shine. Your attractiveness is real, powerful, and undeniable. Your impact on others is significant and meaningful. Your presence matters more than you know. It's time to believe it, embrace it, and step into the full power of who you really are.